interesting. What's going on, everybody? Welcome tonight to the show. We've got a really good one for you tonight. My name's Sean, your host, the big homie from SJS Exotics, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Big Mike from Morph Ave. What's up, Big Mike? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Sean? How's it going, man?
It's going
I
great,
know I
man.
say this week in and week out, but it's going to be another amazing show here in the Big Homies
Oh,
Breakdown.
yeah, man. Every week is a great show, but, I mean, we just level up our shows every week, man. Like, steady leveling it up. Getting better
for sure.
guests. Well, I don't
I
know
want
if
to
we
give
better guests. I think we look for just next level guest every time. It's a next level guest every time.
Yeah.
And
I want to give a shout out to Fred and AJ. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I want to give a shout out to Fred and AJ over there at F&A Balls. Last week we had them on here. It was a great show. We were talking about how some people, like, man, don't be shy to reach out. You know, they're not going to bite you or anything like that. So I kind of pulled 5 or 6 strings, and I was like, man, I got to get this, try to get a hold of Bob and see if Bob will even, chat with me. Bob, we've been talking for a couple weeks now, and we got Bob on, and just thank those guys that just because some person is a huge breeder or anything like that, just reach out to them. Whether it be
what's the worst they're going to say? No.
Yeah, that's what Fred and AJ said. They say, what's the worst going to happen? Either him or, anybody. If it's a little breeder, just reach out to them and communicate with them and get to know them and networking and stuff. Yeah, and that's what I did.
Exactly. You know what? Let's go ahead, Big Mike, and why don't you go ahead and pay our bills for us, Big Mike? We got to keep the lights on, man.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate Chris Eaton, Fat Man, over the Fat Man Nation, and Miss Shauna. She's always helping him out, and hopefully you're getting better, Chris. I'll reach out to you in the next couple of days or so, and go over and check him out on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, and hopefully he'll be back pretty soon there with everything that he's got going on. We appreciate Joe Fisherman at J_Fisherman_photography over there on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and also Etsy. He's got those awesome prints, custom frames. We appreciate you, Joe, as always. And I know we're not an official sponsor of the U.S. Arc, but everybody should support U.S. Arc if you're in this hobby. $40 a year, you get a nice, comfortable T-shirt. Can't afford $40, just throw them a couple bucks when you can. U.S. Arc, Florida. We appreciate you all, Phil, Vanessa, and all those people over there.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that so much, man. Let's go ahead and get in the comments and thank those for coming out. Number one in the comments tonight is HH Pythons. What's up, homies?
Hey, Kate, how you doing? James, we said hello.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we got, bear with me, this computer is not made for fat hands. Let's see. This is a new name in the chat. Jerry Templemeyer. Temple Exotics. What's up? Welcome, homie. Thank you for tuning in. Dickie, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that never misses an episode. This guy is here for every show. on the channel, man. We love the support, bro. Mako Morse, that's a new name to us. What's up, homie? Thanks for jumping in.
How's it going?
Let's see who else we got. We got a lot in the chat, bro. I mean, you got someone like Bob. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah,
What's up,
we
Cat?
appreciate him.
Said have a great show and enjoy the show. Oh yeah, Marcus and Tiffany from Damballa. What's good? What's up, homie?
Hey, what's up, Alan? We appreciate you.
Appreciate you jumping in and checking it out. And you were on the veteran show with us the other day, dude. I totally appreciate that too, bro.
Yeah, I always support the vets.
Let's see. Oh, Void Century Serpents. John is in the house. What's up, John? Thank you for tuning in.
How's it going? Appreciate you coming in. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss
Christopher Walker Reptoid. What's up, y'all? Thanks for coming in.
I've seen him quite a few times there on the RWO. We appreciate you.
With all these new numbers, with all these new names and everything, go ahead and make sure you subscribe if you like what you see so far. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and get into this intro here for our guest and then bring him on. So without further ado, I'm going to put this on too.
Yeah, while he's doing that, don't forget the 500 subs. We're going to be doing a big giveaway.
Yeah,
4 different things we're going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure you
got to get it in. All right. So tonight we got a powerhouse in the reptile community joining us, a breeder who's been in the game since I think 2009, steadily building a reputation, producing high-end animals, and one of the most recognizable brands in the industry. He's the mind behind Bob's Balls, known for investment quality morphs, consistency, top-tier customer support that goes way beyond just the sale. From hobbyist beginnings to becoming one of the most respected names in the ball python game, he's carved a lane all his own. And if you know the inside joke, his power level isn't just high. It's over 9,000. Let's welcome Bob Vu to the show, everybody, and give him a nice warm welcome in the chat, guys. Welcome, Bob. Thank you for coming in, bro. How you doing?
How you doing? Doing good, man. How are you guys?
Hey, Bob, we appreciate you coming on.
Glad to have you here, man. It's really an honor to have someone like you on the show. And we appreciate your time and everything else. How you doing today, Bob?
Like I mentioned it to you earlier. It's like this is actually like a good hour to do it. Obviously, a lot of weekends are tough because sometimes I'm at shows and stuff. But no, this ended up being a perfect weekend for you to reach out.
Right on. Now I can't imagine nobody don't know who you are, but we make everybody give them a little intro and who you are and what you're all about.
No, man. Of course. I haven't been like huge on social media recently, and I lost my old social media pages that I spent years building up. So for those who don't know me, I am Bob Vu. I'm the owner of Bob's Balls. We've been in business for about almost 10 years now. I'll be coming up on my 10th year breeding reptiles full time. And then I am also the owner of the Southeast Reptile Expo. That is in Atlanta. That's our only show. I just called it Southeast just because. And originally we named it Southeast. I was thinking in my head, like, what if I decide to do another state or expand out, within this region? But really, we really do love Atlanta. We love the city. I live here, so it just makes a lot more sense of focus here. And I really wanted to kind of hone my craft and get good at this promoting thing and just get good at one show and like kind of do it justice. That's why we've had a lot of people ask us, oh, why don't you come to Houston or Florida or anything like that? But that's one of the reasons is we kind of just enjoy Atlanta and we kind of want to do our best job here and 100% of our attention here.
It's kind of nice when you have your own little show and it's once in a while, right? It kind of keeps
it's like I feel like if we would do this show 4 times like a year, like a lot of shows are 4 times a year, and I feel like if we did the Southeast Reptile Expo 4 times a year, it would lose a lot of its flair. It will lose the excitement. Your people they don't even have enough time to save money to go to the show and spend money. And our vendors, each vendor, there's only 52 weeks in the year. And if my show is 4 times and this other show, they start to overlap a lot. So even with just 2 shows, I kind of have to tiptoe around to avoid, the major shows. It's not so much, and people are like, "Oh, you're trying to avoid these shows so you don't, lose vendors or whatever." Yeah, that's kind of the case, but it's also to look out for our vendors, like a situation where there's 2 major shows on the same weekend in the Southeast or something.
It's
It
not
really
good.
sucks for the vendors. You don't, you'd have to cancel one. You kind of pick and choose which one you want to vend. It really sucks for the vendors. So I try my best to make it reasonable for a vendor to be able to vend it.
Yeah, especially if the shows are like back-to-back weekends, like you were talking about. That way they don't put too much stress on the animals. Also,
So one of the major things is like I used to do like so many shows. I used to do 30, 40 shows a year. And to do a show back to back, the stress on you alone is like, yeah, it's tough. But then like you mentioned the animals, right? If
yeah,
so I ended up having I hate to say this, but I had to cancel NARBC Dallas for spring because it's back to back weekends with Tinley. And a lot of my friends are going to be able to do that. I just won't because I live kind of like a center point. I live 12 hours away from Dallas and 12 hours away from Tinley. So by the time I leave my house, take animals to Dallas, vend the show, drive back, which I'll be coming home Monday. The animals will be
Dead
coming home
ass.
Monday. So I'm going to be tired, but the animals would have been off of heat and water for, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 days off heat and water. Then on Thursday, I'd have to pack them all back up and drive us all the way back to Chicago, vend that show, 5 days off heat and water, and then come back Monday. That's 10 days off heat and water in a 15-day, 14-day span, and it's just too much for the animals. In my opinion, it's too much for the animals to handle. So I don't do back to back, especially that far. Back in the day when I was vending shows, I would vend Atlanta, and then next weekend I would do, Tennessee somewhere. So it's only 3-4 hours away. I would be home on a Sunday. Animals would be back on food and heat and water on Sunday. I don't leave again until next Saturday. So it's like a way easier schedule. With these major shows being 12 hours, 10 hours apart, back to backs, I'll be honest, it's too hard on the animals, and it's too hard on us too. I'll be honest. I
100% agree with that.
Yeah, back to backs are terrible.
Yeah. And the older you get, the slower you recover.
Yeah, and the less you want to leave the house. You guys know how it is. Yeah, you don't even want to leave the house some days for sure.
Are you gonna be at St. Louis next weekend?
I'm not. St. Louis is usually scheduled to be the first weekend of November. So I always vend it. I've vended every single show they've had at St. Louis. It's always the first week of November. It's always either the 8th or something like that. This year they're on the 22nd, and that's the week before Thanksgiving, 4 days before Thanksgiving. My family takes Thanksgiving very seriously. Everybody comes to town. My sister's flying back from Vietnam to spend Thanksgiving with us. That's a 26-hour flight to spend Thanksgiving. All of my family from Florida is driving up, and we're doing our annual food competition. So we do like a cookout, like a cooking competition every year. So we
Can I
take
be
it
part
very
of the family,
serious.
Bob?
Yeah. You just
All
gotta
right.
come in and start cooking. Yeah.
I
So we do
appreciate
a
you.
competition every year. Like we take it too serious. There's like plaques and chef shirts and all kinds of stuff that gets busted out. So because of that, I'm not going to be able to do St. Louis. It would pretty much feel like a back-to-back for me. I take like 3 days to prep my meals and dishes for the competition. So I'm not going to be able to do that. However, I would like to announce that next week, being Thanksgiving week, we're coming up onto it's Thanksgiving for us because we do a Friendsgiving ahead of time. But next week we're going to start our fundraiser for. I'm just using this as a shameless plug for our fundraiser.
Go for it.
This next week we're going to start our fundraiser for the annual Toys for Tots type deal. We can't call it Toys for Tots because that's like kind of coined, but we do a similar thing. We raise money and we buy toys for the local kids. And I've been doing this for 5 years now, and we've raised probably like over 5 years span, probably almost $50,000-$60,000. that we've been able to give away. Warm chickens. Actually, yeah, one year I did a balut, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Yeah, so we raise money for children, and we give them toys and stuff like that. This year is going to be a little bit different. This year, usually I just raffle off a ball python, and I think the better way to do it this year is we're actually going to sell pixels. There's not going to be a ball python you win. You're not going to enter anything. You're just going to buy a pixel outright. So basically, we will have an 8-foot by 8-foot banner at the show. If you buy a pixel, it's going to be $100, and you'll just automatically be on the banner as a donor. Your company, whatever your banner you want your logo on there, and you'll be there at our shows. So that way, if we have 9,000 attendees that will see your logo as a donor, something, it's like a little promotional deal, and you get to donate to kids.
That's
it's
amazing.
$100. If you're in the position to donate, I encourage people to donate, but this is not like you better donate to us. So I think
you better though.
It's a good route. It's a good route to do it. I feel like more people will feel like they're getting something out of this too, instead of just a chance to win a ball python, which some of them didn't even want in the first place. So hopefully it's well received. I'm gonna comment on the half-eaten formed chickens. Okay, so
I was gonna get to that, Bob. What's up with that, man?
Yeah, so the year that I lost the competition, this was 2023.
21?
I lost the cooking competition in 23. The theme was East meets West, and I made a balut deviled eggs. And balut is one of the most iconic dishes in Southeast Asian culture, between Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines. It's eaten all over, and maybe in some China too. And so it's a very, very popular dish. So what it is, it's a chicken egg or duck egg or quail egg that has been incubated for about 2 weeks, and then right before it hatches, you boil it and you eat it. And
semi-fertilized or fully
fertilized? Yeah,
fertilized?
fertilized egg you incubate and you eat the baby before it hatches. Okay, so you get like a little
y'all are some
half,
baby eaters, bro.
yeah, you get like a half-formed baby chicken in there, feathers and everything still sticking out. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Just eat it before it's deep fried.
yeah, but this dish is extremely popular in Southeast Asia. Okay, it's a very, very well-known dish. So I combined that with a very popular Southern American dish, is deviled eggs. So I put a balut on top of a deviled egg, and because it looked so gross, it was very aesthetically placed. I made it look real pretty. But because it looked so gross, none of the judges, which is my parents and parents, uncles, and then some guests that we had there, no one wanted to try it, so I ended up losing the taste part. We did get points for creativity and plating, but we lost on the taste, and I think we lost to God, I think my sister won that year. No, my sister, maybe my brother. It's something whack. I really should have won.
There you go. Yeah.
Man, you went all out on that thing, bro.
We go every year. I've won twice. This is our year to go on a third. The first year we won it was with bacon wrapped quail breast, and then the second time we won it was with fried chicken hearts and lobster. So it was the fried chicken heart and lobster year was Battle of the Organs, so it was only organ meats. So we used chicken hearts, and then to garnish it, we garnished it with 30 pounds of lobster. So that was a little unfair on our part.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's wild.
Really good. Yeah, I had reached out to him and was going to schedule for next weekend, and they were, doing the cooking, and so I can.
There's no way you're going to get me anytime like 10 days before Thanksgiving. You're not getting me.
Yeah. Yep. That's why was telling Sean that Will from Python Portal, we had him scheduled today, but I swapped it with you for today, so I appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate him for that.
Let's see, Mako Morse. I got really sick in the Philippines when I didn't know what it was and ate it. Yeah, I mean that happens.
Hey man, I'm just gonna throw this out there, Mac. You go to another country, man. You need to ask them what you eating because I got sick in Vietnam when some breeders took us out. So there's a big community of ball python breeders in Vietnam, and I went to dinner with them, and they took us out to a hot pot type deal, and it was goat. It was a goat hot pot, and me and Mary both got so sick the next day, and we were lucky. We brought antibiotics. We brought all the medication with us. So we were only sick for like a little. I was sick for one day for that night, and Mary was sick for like 2 nights in a row, and she was
Wow.
just
What's
throwing up.
Vietnam like, man? I ain't never been
Oh
there.
my god! So out of all the countries I visited, which we visited quite a few countries in the last 3 years, we've been very blessed to have so many good, amazing ball python breeder friends around the world. We've gotten to do Japan, London, or the UK, France, Belgium, some of South America, Puerto
Yeah, didn't you
Rico,
do like a
Dominican.
little herping around the world kind of thing
Oh
on
yeah, dude, and
Instagram
I
for a
herp
bit
everywhere I
there?
go. Anywhere where
Yeah.
there's good herping, I will probably I'd be willing to visit. But
'Was it
100%.
Vietnam, in my
recently you were in
opinion,
Costa Rica?
yeah, we were in Costa Rica in
Yep.
June, and then we're gonna go back
Yeah,
next in 2 weeks. I'll be
That
in Costa.
sounds
Oh no,
fun.
well, almost a full month. I'll be back in Costa Rica in a month. Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I can see rest in peace, Brian Barczyk. I can see like going on a trip overseas with Brian Barczyk and him like playing a prank on quite a few people. Hey man, try this, and it's come to find out it's not the right food, and he'd be eating the good food. And I could have seen Brian doing that to somebody,
Oh,
like pranking
Brian
them a little
B.
bit.
But yeah, Vietnam, in my opinion, is the best. It's my favorite country. But again, I'm super biased on that opinion because I'm from there. I speak the language. I am very familiar with the food and the tastes and the smells because I'm from there. If you're not
Very good food.
if you don't do well in the heat, like if you're like, man, if it's hot, I can't, you sweat a lot or whatever, don't go to Vietnam. It's hot all the time, and very
Oh, wow.
few houses or restaurants have AC. If you're in a restaurant with AC, it's going to be a lot of money. It's expensive. So yeah, it's just expect to pay a lot if you're in a restaurant that has AC in it. Yeah, Marcus and Tiffany was like, hey, don't touch the frogs. Yeah, I I have this problem where when I herp and I see stuff, I want to touch it. And I had to be fair to yes, I understand the law of Costa Rica and all that. We had gloves on, the way it was explained to us was like we want to protect the wildlife, so put on some gloves. The gloves wasn't to protect us because we know that their poison is not that extreme unless you have like you're pretty sickly, like you have a lot of respiratory issues or anything like that, and you have cuts all over your hands. But yeah, the gloves was to protect the wildlife. We have sunblock on us, we have bug spray on us. So you want to have
Yeah, for sure.
gloves and really
Get a
protect the
little
wildlife.
protective barrier between you
Yeah,
and the
they're
animal.
amphibians. They breathe through their skin, so
Yeah.
the slightest amount of bug spray will probably make them shrivel up like a raisin. So yeah, just to protect the wildlife. But yeah, it was we really enjoyed our time in Costa Rica. It was it's one of my favorite places to herp. There's just so much there. There's just
Yeah,
so much there. I do enjoy herping in the U.S. Because there's just so much diversity, and people are like, well, they're not so much that there's a lot of diversity in any region, because like in Georgia, if you're herp, you might find like 6 species all day. You can herp 8 hours and find like 5 snakes, 6 species or whatever.
mm,
But the ranges you're able to go to. So like if I herp Georgia, I find all these species. I flew to North Carolina for a few days last month, and we were able to find species that we weren't able to find here. And then when I fly to California, it's like a whole nother country because there's species that I didn't know about.
yeah.
There's desert iguanas and just like random stuff like that. So I really
If
had a
you're in
good time.
SoCal, don't touch the tortoises either, bro.
Yeah, so that's here too. Actually, if you're in Georgia, don't touch our tortoises, don't touch our turtles.
Yeah.
Like our gopher tortoises are federally protected. I see people all the time digging up gopher tortoises and taking pictures with them. If you do take a picture with a gopher tortoise, I always tell people this: like if you see one on the road and you take a picture and post it or whatever, if there's a road behind you, at least it's justifiable. You're moving it off the road, something like that, but don't go digging. Do not ever go digging a gopher out of its hole because you will do jail time. Like that's a We take it
Yeah.
serious here. Gophers are our state reptile. So yeah, don't go digging up our tortoises.
What's one of your favorite species to go herping for? Like whether it be
So
in Vietnam, Costa Rica, here in the U.S., one of your favorite ones? I know
Oh
you have a
man,
lot.
that's so tough because I like so I like venomous stuff a lot because we don't get to deal with them here too much. So one of my favorite finds was the Japanese habu, Taiwan, the Okinawan habu. We and one of the reasons I really liked that find was because my wife found it. She's not a herper, and but on the plane ride there, I was explaining to her what we're looking for, and I'm showing her pictures. I had like a little slideshow presentation almost of like this is
Hmm.
what we're looking for. Don't touch this. And literally, we roll up to the spot, and she was like, "I think this is a habu over here." And I was like, "What?" I walked over, and sure enough, it's a 5 foot Taiwan, not Taiwanese, it's a Okinawan habu, and it was just
Wow,
beautiful
that's
golden
awesome.
habu. And I brought the shortest 2 foot hook with me, trying to mess with the snake, and but really, yeah, the golden habu, a phenomenal
The golden
animal.
habu, is it? Do they use that for medicine over there? Am I
Yeah,
correct
you'll
about that?
find them all over the place. You'll find them in like whiskey jars. You'll find them.
Okay.
They
Yep.
they really and then they're really afraid of them. The Japanese people are really afraid of them, and I think the reason is because I looked it up to see how many people die a year from it. Not many, and I think the reason is the same exact reason why Americans are afraid of rattlesnakes, why Americans are afraid of moccasins or cottonmouths or whatever, is because one person got killed, in 1992, but because that person's family spread this rumor around, oh my god, yeah, he was just walking one day and he just got tagged and now he's dead. um and I think because of that, like a lot of that gets spread around. But man, you see any venomous snake in the world, in my opinion, any venomous snake, they're not really out to get you. But there
Yeah.
are reasons why more deaths are, from certain species, like the saw scaled viper, or the mambas, or anything like that.
Big
Those
change.
just
Yeah.
end up killing more people, or like those end up killing more people because they live in more populated areas, or
Mhm.
because we are constantly going into their area to basically deforest or farm or mine or anything like that. Because if you take into consideration one of the most venomous species in the world, the eastern brown snake in Australia, but death count is almost non-existent, right? Rarely
Yeah.
anybody gets killed by eastern browns. How many people gets killed? It's because they're so seldomly encountered. But when you do encounter, most of the time they just kind of scurry off. I think it's the biggest situation is that a lot of these species will basically enter your house at night, cuddle up with you for warmth, and then when you roll over on top of them, they bite you, and that's how a lot of people die. So
Yeah.
a
For
lot of
sure.
times, I just don't think a lot of these folklore or these superstitiousness or just stories being passed down from generation to generation is just fear from one time incident and stuff like that.
Yeah. I had seen Chandler from a Chandler's Wild World. He's down here in Florida. He was recently over there in Japan and stuff like that traveling. That's why I had learned more about that. So
Yeah, I mean, Japan's awesome, man. The species over there, we were able to find in one night. Me and my wife were able to find 6 to 7 snakes in one night. A few DORs we didn't count, but yeah, live snakes we able to find 7 snakes in one night, and we didn't even know the area. I didn't know any spots. We just drove
yeah.
out and found the park and just kind of cruised around a little bit and was able to find wildlife. And the great thing is that for anyone that's looking to travel or herp in Japan, Okinawa is like Hawaii. It's just like a little awesome little island,
Wow.
and the speed limit is like 40 miles an hour, so no one's speeding around and going out of their way to like hit snakes or anything like that. And they're very respectful of their wildlife. So I really enjoyed it there, and the, the forest is like you can drive half a mile and you're in the forest. It's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, they say the ball python market's really picking up a little bit in Japan and Korea and Vietnam and
Yeah,
stuff.
the sales
I
over there
want
have been really
information,
good.
man.
I don't want to say like we make an excuse to go over there because of that, but
Mhm.
it's one of the reasons we go over there is to visit our customers. That was the main reason we went over there in the first place this past year. This trip was to visit two of my biggest customers from over there. They spend a lot of money with us, and then they were inviting us to a show, and so it was the show in Tokyo. It was the big show in Tokyo, and one of them messaged me and was like, "Do you want to display some of your animals here?" And I was like, oh, that would be cool, but the logistics around there, like, well, don't worry, we'll just buy the animals and whatever. So whatever it doesn't sell at the show, we'll just keep it. We'll just buy it. So like I was like, oh, cool. You pick out the animals you would actually want, and that way you're not stuck with them. And I was a bit pleasantly surprised when we got there that more than half of the inventory that I sent over there sold at the show. So that was
Wow,
that
that's
was really
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good
I know over
percentage.
here. Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead. No, it's just saying that a lot of our inventory sold, so it was really good.
That's amazing. I know over here in the United States, you have like the next level displays, the ARS, the animal plastics. What do they actually use over there to like display the animals? If you,
So they
you know,
built their own. They don't have like which I really like their displays too. They have a very similar display to ARS or the guy that I was with. It's a longer display. It holds like eight compartments. It's long like a gun, like a rifle case, and it holds like 8 animals. And there's 3 stacks of those, and then 2 sets of that fills a whole 8-foot table. So their displays are a little bit wider than ours.
Mhm.
I like them, but they're super heavy and kind of bulky. But they come with these really nice cases, so you don't like ding them around. But then, so that one was one. There was another one guy that used a different display setup. I've never seen it before. So they have different ones that they manufacture over there.
Okay,
I'd
I
imagine
appreciate
they buy it from
it.
China or something. China is
Yeah.
right there next door, so I mean, they can just call in and get stuff manufactured.
It's just amazing the stuff that they come out with nowadays. It's just
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. Heck, I mean, next level displays when they first came out was like blowing people's minds. I was like, "What in the world is this?" It's a
Right.
pull-out
Yeah,
shelf, and it comes with heats and
yeah.
built-in lights,
I
and
actually have some of his racks that he first built, and they still. I mean, they work great. All I had to do was just replace the heat tape. No bowing or sag or anything like that. I mean, they're
hmm
amazing.
yeah, I really like their stuff, man. There is a price difference there. It's a little bit higher. I really like his stuff. I mean, the displays are really slick, right? I mean, it slides out. The lights just pop on. So it's a plug
Mhm.
and play. If you're a brand new breeder and you don't want to have to tote all this stuff around and go source a really good set of lights or go source, anything like that, it's a really nice setup.
Yeah,
Just plug.
especially you're in Michigan like me, and it gets cold in the winter, and you're vending, and you want to have that extra heat. But
Yep, yep.
um,
You don't want to go to a show like Tinley was like that. Tinley's a little bit difficult because one year in Tinley, it was like 18 degrees outside. It was just freezing cold. And they opened the bay doors. They opened the roll up doors in the back, and all this cold air just flushes in. And my
wow.
displays are like freezing, and I'm like, what the hell? So I have to go buy heat tape, or I have
Hmm.
heat rope. I have heat rope that I was running just to keep the animals like at like 70 degrees,
Yeah,
just to not freeze them out. So yeah, any cold shows would be. So I'm from the south, so there's no shows down here that are like freezing or anything. But yeah, we go when Tinley is as far north as I go, and
okay,
yeah, if you don't have heat for Tinley, you might struggle there for sure.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, Sean. Go
And
ahead.
speaking of shows, man, first NARBC show I vended, you were on the corner, and I had that big old banner of yours with that little saying looking dude. They're like, "Hey, are you Bob?" Or I'm like, "No, he's over there," because they were doing that sticker book thing, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
"I'm definitely not Bob, but thank you."
What show was that?
that's
Was
pretty
that
cool.
Schaumburg or St. Louis?
That was St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah,
Yeah, that was the first show I had. Troy was right next to me. Him and his wife Margaret were next to me.
right, right.
Troy's
Yeah,
awesome.
good company.
Yeah, I love Troy and them. Yeah, Troy. I've been vending alongside Troy for God, probably been 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's good people. That's for sure. So, what got you into all this? What made you go from the hobby level to Bob Vu owning the SRE? Like, bro, that's a huge step.
So I've been doing reptiles full time for almost 10 years now. I started going. I did full time in 2016 when I quit my day job to pursue this full time, and the only reason I even have a reptile show, like we even have a promotion, is because Atlanta doesn't have a major show. Okay, before in 2023 we had the Reptilian Nation, which is the big show here. We really loved it. We supported it. We vended it. I was trying to promote the hell out of it to get people there. Well, in 2020 24, he sent out an email at the end of 23 saying that he's not going to come back to Atlanta. They had issues with the venue. And I was like, well, there goes our one show that we've end a year, like near that's local. That's good. So because he canceled the show, I ended up picking up the venue and putting on the show just to have somewhere for me to vend locally. And we've already had this idea. I have a really good team. My friend Daniel does all the IT. My wife does all the paperwork. His wife does all the ordering of all the materials. So it's like we had this like really well-oiled machine already. And then after our first show, just to like cover his show, like because Reptilian Nation canceled. After our first show, I was like we're kind of good at this. Like we had about almost 6,000 people through the door for our first time show. It was like 50 something 100. I was like, hey, for our first time show to get like almost 6,000 people through the door, we're pretty good at this. I think we can do this. And then
and at that point, you're just in the learning phases, right? I mean, you can only get better from there.
I spent so much money on dumb stuff that we definitely we spent $2,000 on Google ads. That was like really bad. Google called us and was like, hey, your ads really suck. Like you guys spend a lot of money and you need to talk to our advertising department. So we had to sit down with them for like a 2-hour meeting of them explaining to us, how to like target and keywords and all this stuff that we didn't know. Again, I'm a ball python breeder. My friend Daniel does IT. We don't know how to target and what videos and what brings in the best engagement or whatever. So we spent a lot of money on that show, kind of like playing around. And then our second show, I spent $17,000 or $18,000 on billboards, and then come to find out, a few of the billboards that they recommended us were not really good. They're kind of back facing, or you can barely see from the highway and stuff like that. And we're like, man, I spent $4,000 on that main billboard, and you can barely see it from the highway unless you're looking for it. So small stuff like that. And we're trying to figure that out and getting everything right. And this past show, it just felt like everything was moving really well. We got everything kind of organized. And then we had Snake Discovery come, and that just threw a wrench in everything. Not in a bad way. It was just like there were so many dang people that we didn't even know how to get them through the door fast enough. Our doors open at 10 o'clock in the morning. We don't have a VIP. It's just like straight away to the show at 10 o'clock. And we at 6:30 in the morning, when I got up to go down to the venue, at 6:30, I can look out my window and I can, so we have a hotel attached to the venue. I can look down and I can see a line of kids waiting outside of the building. So, and I was like, hey, we need to get down there. So we got down there, and at 7:30, we opened the doors to the venue to let them into the halls. And by 9:30, fire department came in and said, hey, if you don't open your doors to let them into the venue, we're going to shut down your event because there's too many people in the halls. And I was just like, what? So I had to go on the intercom and tell all the vendors, I'm like, hey, I know we open at 10, but you guys need to speed it up because I'm about to open the doors. And they were like, what? And we're like, there's 1,000 children and and parents in the halls waiting to like get in, and if we don't open now, we're gonna get shut down. So there was no other option. It was insane.
I think that's when you had the theme.
It was a Pokemon theme. So it's like everything's the perfect storm of it all, right? We have Snake Discovery. It's a Pokemon themed show. So like everyone is so hyped. I have like 1,000 Pikachus in the lobby dressed up. It was just like the perfect storm of it. And then we have like our security cops who are like, what the hell is going on? This is like an anime convention or something. What's going on? And I was just like, no, it's a reptile show. It's themed. And he was like, there's 1,000 kids here.
It's like an anime convention to me.
Right.
Mr.
And I was just like, yeah, she's pretty popular. Like Snake Discovery is pretty popular. So we there's nothing we can do. We just got to put up with it, So.
Speaking of anime, Bob, so I noticed you got like this whole like this Dragon Ball Z thing from like the very get-go, man. And I've been around, I was 3 years old when Dragon Ball Z came out.
I mean,
man,
either one of us couldn't have been that old when Dragon Ball came out. Dragon Ball's been out for 30 something years now. So
I'm old, bro. Like old as dirt. This dye is freaking perfect.
And it's like, so when I first started the business, I actually had people tell me, hey, you have to change your business name. You can't just call it Bob's Balls because no one's going to follow your page. No one's going to want to, buy anything from a guy's business that says Bob's Balls. Well, it didn't matter to me because when I started Bob's Balls, I wasn't doing this full time. I was actually an insurance broker. I was a financial advisor at the time. So I didn't care what the business name was. I wasn't going to make any money off of it anyways. I was losing money every year for the first like 5 years. We didn't make any money. But that wasn't the goal. I wasn't planning on making money. I was just breeding snakes because it was fun and it was cool.
Yeah.
I get to make new stuff every year. It was super cool. So I honestly did not care for the business name. I just came up with something I thought was funny. So when it was time to come up with a logo, because we're like, hey, we're going full time. The first logo, if you've noticed, the other Bob's Balls logo is also a rip off of a different company. And then our second logo,
yeah, it was.
the second logo is the Dragon Ball logo was actually drawn up for me by a friend named Jake. He drew it up for me as a tattoo. He's a tattoo artist, and he drew it up for me. I was like, hey, this would be really cool as a tattoo. Sends it to me. I get it digitized, and I was like, hey, Jake, I'm not gonna get this tattooed on me. I'll just throw this out there. I don't have any tattoos, so I was telling him, I was like, I'm not gonna get a tattoo. However, I was like, do you mind if I just test this out as our logo? And because it was so well received, we sold so many freaking t-shirts, and I was just like, let's just stick with this. People love
That's
this,
awesome.
and so far so good, and actually the funny story was I had a buddy call me from the Pornhub factory, not factory, the Pornhub like not distribution, what is it called, headquarters, there you go. Pornhub headquarters calls me and was like, hey, this is Pornhub headquarters, blah blah blah. They're going through this whole spill, and I'm like, God, I want to get a cease and desist, and then they're gonna sue me, and all they want, their media to stop using their logos, which is fine, and all this. And he was like, hey man, this is Justin. I was like, Justin? I was like, and he was like, yeah, I actually work here at their legal department. I was like, what the hell? And he was like, yeah, I showed all the boys your logo and told them what you do, like you sell balls, so it's like hilarious. And they were all laughing about it, so they're like, let's call him and like freak him out. And I was like, you bunch of bastards. Yeah. But yeah, so I got a call from Pornhub corporate, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've had people like tell me like, that won't work, or don't do it that way, don't do it this way, and I've done it this way or that way, and I've got further, I think, without listening to them than I, just do
you, man. Like, make it personal, like personalize it to you, because our industry is not very corporate, right? You don't need a corporate feel or corporate look, or it's not like we wear shirt and ties to work, and we're not like trying to be like our customer base is not that corporate. So I think a lot of people especially want to buy from their friends and people they know on a personal level. So, I just don't like that corporate feel like, oh, you have to do it this way. No, because no one in this industry has to do it in any way. Not everyone should be trying to be Justin Gabilka or HP, whichever, like just do it your own way. Like, that's why I enjoyed it when Miguel came into the industry, just like high energy, this neck tatted Mexican dude coming in with a Mexican channel and all this. And it was just like really high energy. And I loved it. I was like, it's a totally different feel to what we're doing. And, and it worked.
Shout out to Miguel, dude. I remember when he came into the game, I'm like, who is this guy? Where did he come from?
This guy's just coming in,
like,
high
I guess
energy.
He told his gyms and was like, let's go.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff.
It works, man. Cool. It just works because it's him. That's who he is. It's authentic. It's not like he's putting up a front to be like this character. Sometimes I feel like
be yourself. And
when people go out of their way to be like a character, then it doesn't work. Like, because if you meet me in person, this is what you get. You're not gonna get like a corporate type feel. That's not what you're gonna be buying from.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my dog.
Pretty good.
That's okay. Sean, you want to take a break for a second and go ahead and throw that?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a break real quick, guys.
Grab a drink of water.
Show our new little video deal here in just a second. As soon as I can find it. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. While you're looking for that, after that, do you want to?
welcome back. Yeah, hey everybody. So when we come back from our Christmas break, we'll be on at a new time, coming on at 7:30. Right, Mike?
7:30 Eastern.
Yeah, 7:30
6:30
Eastern.
Central.
That way we
4:30.
weren't stepping on nobody's toes, and we can kind of all make room for each other during that time slot.
Yep. We support
Yeah.
everybody that supports us. Also, I don't know if you still have the list of the 100 sub giveaway. We still have that to give away. It's 25% off of John over there at Mission Morphs. He donated 25% off of one of the 2025 ball pythons as a giveaway for 100 subs. So we still have that to give away.
We're gonna try and get that giveaway done on Wednesday for the drawing because I gotta send all the names back over to Carol to do the spin. She's
Yeah,
not
we'll definitely
well
get that done.
tonight, so
Yeah, we appreciate all of our sponsors and everybody that supports us each and every week.
every week. So I got some more questions for you, Bob, if you don't mind, man.
He's still on here.
What's that?
No, go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah. When you're deciding how you want your project to work or how you want to invest into it, what kind of how does your thinking go? You know what I mean? Like all right, you're doing investment type purchases for your projects and stuff. What is some of the things you like to do to make that go?
So for purchasing, and again, people know I buy a lot, which is fine. I buy a lot of snakes and I sell a lot of snakes, but the main part of my purchasing process is I'll be honest, is mostly males. I buy mostly males. I produce most of my own females. I buy new genes. It's easier to spread through your collections with males. Like a lot of people get into this bogged down mode that they only buy females and they buy, hundreds of females and then they don't have any males. And because they think their one male is going to breed eight females, if they read that online. And I buy mostly males to load up on new genes. And that's how I do it. That's how I get into the investment side of it. Like one of my biggest purchase ever was a Desert Ghost Xanthic Clown, and it was a male. Knowing that I can run that male on multiple females and spread his genes faster. So on the investment side, it's mostly males. The females are great, obviously. Really gene-packed females are great, but I can produce most of those myself. I can produce more of them, but I can buy a more powerful male. Usually it's cheaper than them females, and then it's getting a new gene, and you can spread it around your collection faster.
There you go. That makes a lot of sense. You work with the Sunset, correct?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do some. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you see like the Sunset gene like in 3 years? I know a lot of people hate it. Some people love it and don't really want to tell you about it.
Mike loves it.
What's some genes you would like to see that really hasn't been displayed in the Sunset in the next couple of years?
So I'm going kind of a weird route with my sunsets. I made quite a few triple het DG Xanthic sunsets. I haven't seen an Xanthic sunset. It's been, let me tell you, sunset's been out over a decade, and we haven't seen an Xanthic sunset. We've seen freaking hypos, DGs, clowns. We've seen triple recessive DG sunset clowns. We've seen all of it, but we haven't seen an Xanthic sunset. So I'm looking forward to producing that next year. I have triple het females that are 1,000-gram range. The problem is I don't have a male because no one is producing anything in that range for me. I have triple het males, but I would prefer hopefully to produce a double visual or single visual DG double het sunset Xanthic or something like that to breed to those triple het girls. I think a DG Xanthic sunset will be a pretty snake. The Xanthic sunset might suck. I don't know. It's two genes that age. So, but who knows? Like sometimes a Xanthic honestly got saved in a big way because of DG. Xanthic was kind of fell off the wayside. No one really wanted to do black and white snakes. And then the minute someone say, "Oh, DG is Xanthic," and it looks phenomenal, it ages phenomenal, then it kind of just revitalized the project, and I really enjoy it. Like I'm doing DG Xanthic paints, DG Xanthic clowns, DG Xanthic pieds. So I'm adding that into everything. And in the sunset, one other project I'm working is the Mandarin sunsets. I'm a big fan of Mandarin stuff. I'm a big fan of the supers. I think Mandarin itself is probably going to be one of the biggest morphs moving into 2026-27, mostly because there hasn't been a lot with it, and because the big factor of a lot of fake mandarins were sold over the last few years, and within the next month to 3 months, something like that, whenever Charlie from Shed Testing, or
Yeah.
the artist otherly known as Charlie from Shed Testing, now is called Phenome. Once they release the shed test for Mandarin, which I know they're close, they're working on it. He said they're
Yeah.
close. Once they release it, a lot of people are going to find out they didn't have Mandarin in the first place, or they do have Mandarin, and the price is going to stabilize. People are going to want it more. The
Yeah.
combos that are going to be produced going to be better next year. I've made some really phenomenal Mandarin combos this year that I held back. And for next year, we're going to do even more hypo sunset mandarins or super Mandarin hypo sunsets. So we have a lot of
That's
options.
gonna be really nice. I purchased some Het Sunset and a Het Sunset Het Clown back in October of 22. Well, December of 22. And this past year, I put the Het Sunset Het Clown to a Leopard Clown girl and produced 2 visual clown possible Het Sunsets. And then I put him to the Het Sunset girl and got a visual sunset male. It was a twin, and the other one didn't develop all the way. And he's possibly Het Clown. And when I cut those, I cut them on Brian Barczyk's birthday. So I think that was pretty cool there.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
So, yeah, I like the sunset. And they're like, well, you can't see it. It's just an old brown snake. It's like, I want to do something different than, what everybody else is doing. Who knows? I might be the blind one that they created something that nobody ever thought about making. I mean, you just never know.
Well, I mean, a lot of genes are just an old brown snake. I mean, let's be honest. Lace is an old brown snake that had no potential until someone found out what it can do. Cinnamon is just a brown snake. Black Pastel is a brown snake. Red Stripe is, people are giving away Red Stripe for free back in 2018, before pre-Pompeii, DG. I'll tell you right now, DGs were selling for $100 a piece in 2016, 17. Nobody wanted them. I bought wholesale lots of DG in 2018, 19. When I was in Daytona, I saw them. I was like, man, these are super pretty snake. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want one of these as a pet. So I bought a ton of them in because I was in Daytona and there was a guy selling them for $200 a piece for combos. And I was like, man, I can just stash away, 20 of these females for down the road. So I ended up buying 20, 30 animals that year. And luckily for me, COVID hit 8 months after that, and the price skyrocketed, and I had an army of DGs already from the last 2 years, and I was producing, and I was already breeding it into my Xanthic stuff. I was already breeding it to my clown stuff, and it's just like kind of have to have a long-term goal and long-term vision for some of this stuff. Like I made lace double hets, sunset clowns I'm pairing back this year to make white lace sunset clowns.
Nice.
Stuff like that. And it's just like, sure, it's a long-term project. You're 3 to 5 years in on most of these things. Anytime you have a new idea, it's a 3-year plan. Any new project, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years. And you just got to be able to commit, And sometimes I'll be honest, I've started projects where I just scrapped them. I had a puzzle clown project. I was like, dude, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to do, red stripe, blah, 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 puzzle clown. And as soon as I saw the visual puzzle clown, I'm like, all right, I'm out. And I just sold the whole project. Sometimes it just happens like that.
Yep.
You work with the information you're given, we were given the information that bananas were sex linked after a while, or the information that deserts don't produce. It's not information anyone's trying to hide. Brock Wagner didn't know every single banana that came out of that male is going to be male. He did not know that. It's like, but how could you even think anyone would know that? Why would anyone even guess that an animal can only produce one sex? That's not like a common thing. So why would that's not something that's common in the species itself. So I couldn't imagine even guessing that to be a thing pre bananas, and just like the desert, how could anyone guess that every single female that comes out of this genetic mutation is going to be infertile? It's impossible to have known that ahead of time. Obviously, after years and years and years of breeding them out or trying to breed them out, they knew that. But some of these stuff is like ball pythons is such an anomaly of genes. How can 2 perfectly normal looking animal breed together and produce a white snake or a black snake or a fully striped animal, and it's just like
Mhm.
there's just a lot of information that we go through, and sometimes you scrap projects or you pick up a project based on something new, like new information, right?
Yeah.
Pompeii was new information. No one knew red stripe's going to make a clown that amazing, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted red stripe clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just trial and error.
Yep.
So where do you see yourself at for the next 10 years or so, Bob?
Oh God, I don't even know where I'm going to be at in 10 days.
10 minutes from now.
Yeah,
A couple months is going to be in Costa Rica.
yeah, 3 weeks from now I'll be in Costa
Yeah,
Rica.
there you
But
go.
10 years, man, I don't know. The ball python market in the last 10 years has changed so much. I'm curious what it's going to look like in 10 years. Are we going to be able to do artificial insemination? Are we able to print genes? Are we going to be able to genetically modify anything? Hopefully not. I enjoy the breeding process as it is. I don't think any more modifications need to be done. I'm not even a fan of genetic testing, but because it exists, I use it and I support them. But I absolutely think genetic testing is speeding up the ball python game too fast for people to catch up or understand, or take advantage of it. But if you understand it and you know how to take advantage of it and know how to use your hets and pos hets correctly, then it's a great tool. However, if it never existed as an impossible thing, I would have been fine with it. I like raising pos hets and gambling sometimes, but
Yep.
I
Like
hope
a
that
craps game, man.
Yeah, I
I,
have
I
some
I hope
possible
the
triple hat
modification
sunset
thing
clown
never
pied
becomes a
stuff.
thing, right? I hope that cryo or whatever, where you can come up with a new gene sign, out of a machine. I hope that never becomes a thing. Artificial insemination is bad for the industry too, in my opinion. Like stuff like that, like selling snake sperm, in my opinion, would be a bad thing, because then you're no longer committed to buying a male and raising it for a year. Stuff like that. I just don't think it's good for the industry
Well, they're gonna
overall.
start vending eggs at the shows, man.
Yeah, I'll just sell eggs. I'll just, as soon as a girl lays, I'll just take it with me. Plug an incubator in the
Hey,
truck.
these
And
are all double visits right out the egg, bro.
yeah,
No waiting.
yeah. I mean, selling eggs is so insane, but I say that, but I've been to Daytona 2007. People are selling eggs on the table. A clutch will pip and they'll take the whole clutch to the show and sell them at the show. So our
Damn,
industry's been through that before. We've gone through that process already, but we definitely
that's
don't need to
crazy.
revert to that. That wasn't good for the animals, not good for the industries, not good for the optics, right? Imagine a PETA comes in and you got a bunch of eggs on the table, and knowing that
Right?
those animals gonna, some of those animals might die the minute you bring them home because they're in an egg, So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the factor of running pos hets and then hitting a visual, man, that thrill. You don't get that thrill anymore because there's no more pos hets in most collections, right?
Hey, I
There's
got
very few
pos
pos
sets in
hets
my
left.
collection. If
Right.
you're
Like what I
bored, you got
do,
pos
I,
sets.
I because of the $40 paywall, I can automatically know what hets are in my collection. I don't have to pair, certain things anymore. So make life too easy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Bob, we are running up against it, man. Would you like to tell everybody how they would like to get a hold of you? And again, man, thank you for your time tonight, man. It was total honor
Yeah,
to have you on our
yeah, I've
show
enjoyed
tonight.
it, guys. Really enjoyed it. It went by really quick. This hour went by
It
really
did.
quick. I felt like it was been like 15 minutes. But yeah, you can get a hold of me on Instagram. It's BallsBalls2, SoutheastReptileExpo.com, Southeast Reptile Expo on Instagram. Follow us on Southeast Reptile Expo on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be announcing our new fundraiser that's going to be coming up in a week. We're basically, what we're doing is we're selling pixel space on a banner. It's going to be a 6x6 inch show on a banner, and you'll get to help a bunch of kids enjoy their Christmas. And a lot of people ask, well, why are you, every time I do a charity or do a fundraiser, there seems to be one person that's always negative, and I understand it. I understand why they are skeptical or whatever. They're always like, well, where's this money going and all this stuff? And he's probably just pocketing it. I
There's
promise I'm not pocketing it, guys. The money is going to go to an organization nearby us. It's called Sharing Well. They buy a ton of Christmas presents, and then the families sign up, and then they go out, take their kids out there, and basically go shop or whatever at this
that's awesome,
facility.
dude.
Um, And locally, Shaquille, he lives down the street from us, and he buys so many toys for the same reason. He does the same thing as us on a much larger scale. It's a really cool thing to do. And one of the reasons we do it is because I was one of those kids growing up, I know what it's like. And no parent wants to tell their kids that they're not getting Christmas this year because the economy sucks. It's not to their fault of their own. The economy is terrible. Everyone's going to feel it this year. And at least if a kid has one gift to open at Christmas, at least it makes it that much better. So you guys be on the lookout for that and help us as many kids as possible.
Absolutely. When did you say that was going to be?
I'm going to announce it Monday. Hopefully we can get the website running by Monday or Tuesday. If we can get it running Wednesday, that's fine too. Now, by the end of the week, by the end of next week, we'll have everything running on the website where you can just go on there and order your logo. You basically just upload your logo and then you order your placement.
Wow, that's outstanding, Bob.
Yeah. And we're going to try to raise like $15,000 for this deal. Half of it's going to go to Sharing Well. The other half is going to go to the Reptile Relief Fund, which then I will be sending. I'm going to try to do a thing where I'll be sending the money to specific families that are in the reptile industry that's like struggling for Christmas or holidays or anything like that. I do feel like a lot of these fundraisers, the money needs to go back into our industry. So we're going to be doing that also. So if you are a family that's struggling, you have 3 kids and Christmas is going to be tight, because I understand it. I totally understand it. It's the economy sucks. The government shutdown for absurd amount of time sucks, So, and we did this last week with the fundraiser for the basically to help people buy groceries, and it worked out really well. So I'm going to try to do it again this time, but it's going to be for Christmas. So yeah, if you are one of those families that are struggling, reach out. Feel free to reach out, message us on Reptile Relief. It's a Reptile Relief 101 page. Just message us and we're going to help as much as we can. We're going to raise as much money as possible and try to help as many people as we can. Since we're a community, we always preach it as a reptile community. We always preach that we're a community, but when it comes time to help, I would like, people to help more. It's just like we talk about it all the time, so it's time to actually do something, and I feel like this is something that's very easy for everyone to do if possible. If you're not in the position to help, it's perfectly okay, but if you are in the position to help, reach out to us, and we're gonna try to hopefully make this Christmas a little bit better for a few people.
No, that's amazing. Y'all make sure you try to give something, right?
Yeah, just follow us on Southeast Reptile Expo on the Instagram page, and then we'll announce how to do it, and everything's going to be very simple. We're going to try to make it as easy as possible, and then I'll shoot a video tomorrow or something and post it on there explaining what it is, and I'll try to do it in detail so it's very clear and where the money's going and all that. So there's not going to be a ton of questions.
Well, feel free to send any of those over to us, man. We'll reshare them all day for you, Bob.
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'll send that on over. I'll send it pretty much to everybody to share. Yeah. If you have a platform, I'm going to try to use it. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, Bob. Really great having you on the show tonight, man. And we'll put you backstage, and me and Mike are going to wrap this up, and we'll see you in a minute.
All right.
Thank you, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, that was a great show, man. Uh-oh. Can't hear you, Mike. Anyways, so while he's fixing that, man, there we go.
Right, I'm back.
That was a great show tonight, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, everybody, tune in next Wednesday for Tarantulas After Dark, right?
No, we had the Big Homies Corner.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wednesday, and then we're going to win that 25% off there, John, at Mission Morphs.
Okay.
And then next Saturday, we have Will from Python Portal. We're going to see what we can get into.
That's going to be a fun one right there. But if y'all don't hit the bell notification button when you hit subscribe, you guys might not remember, and you'll miss out. So make sure you're hitting subscribe and the notification bell so y'all don't miss a moment. With that, yes, sir.
Now, don't forget, if you I understand some people don't want to show their email, but if you have a private email, we never know if you're going to be able to win the spin to win, that way we can.
Yeah, because we can't put your name in it. So,
So
all
we
right,
appreciate
well,
people. We have a few more subscribers tonight. Thank you guys for that. We're up to
y'all very
136
much for
now.
subscribing. We're on our way to 500. With that,
One step at a
y'all have a
time.
good one. The Big Homie and Big Mike, we out.